Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name's Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. The clock is ticking for TikTok. It faces a U.S. ban if a non-Chinese company doesn't buy it by Saturday. That's when an extension from President Donald Trump runs out. It's unclear if finalizing a deal Friday is feasible, but the White House says it's crafting a plan to avoid the ban. Amy Kiley has more.
It'll come out before the deadline.
The White House says it's working on a deal to keep TikTok in U.S. app stores. A bipartisan law is set to ban it over national security concerns, unless its Chinese parent company ByteDance sells it. TikTok is operating on an extension that ends tomorrow.
You want to make sure that the TikTok app in the United States is not spying on people. Right. That's good for national security. You also want to give people access to this incredible platform.
Under the U.S. law, ByteDance must sell at least 80% ownership. China seems reluctant to allow that. President Donald Trump is floating the idea of using tariffs as leverage.
It doesn't matter how many investors want to buy this U.S. app of TikTok. Does China want to let them buy it is the big question. They have indicated that they don't.
A deal also must meet two other requirements. The first is TikTok and ByteDance can't coordinate on data sharing due to privacy concerns. Analysts say that could be doable since the U.S. company Oracle now stores that information. The second is ByteDance can't control TikTok's algorithm for fear China could use it to influence Americans. That's a sticking point that Trump once proposed addressing with a lease agreement.
If you're licensing the algorithm, I don't personally understand how you're solving for that problem, but I'm sure that's something that the U.S. government is talking about with this deal.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
China's now striking back after President Donald Trump escalated a global trade war by imposing additional tariffs on Chinese imported goods earlier this week. China announcing Friday it's imposing reciprocal 34% tariffs on all imports from the United States. That starts April 10th. The country also added 11 American companies to its unreliable entity list, including drone manufacturers, and it put export controls on 16 American companies to prohibit the export of Chinese dual-use items. China's retaliation against the latest round of U.S. tariffs, more sweeping than its earlier reciprocal actions. It originally imposed retaliatory tariffs on targeted U.S. imports, including ag products and fuel, while taking action against certain American firms and ramping up export controls. Liberation Day largely came and went with no immediate impact to day-to-day prices. The stock market Friday morning was down 3% in early trading after dropping over 3% on Thursday. But what long-term effect will all this have on farmers and ranchers? Speaking in Virginia on Thursday, Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins acknowledged there could be some economic setbacks in Middle America and said the Trump administration has plans to mitigate those losses.
There's no doubt, and as we saw in the last Trump administration under Sonny Perdue, who was the Secretary of Agriculture then, that there were a good number of our farmers and ranchers, especially in our row crops, that were at least immediately felt some economic consequence of those tariff decisions. And as a result, the USDA then set up a program that sent money out to those farmers once they had proved that they had some economic consequences. So as of today, we don't know what those consequences will look like. In fact, it may be months before we really know, especially in the row crops. They are all being planted right now. This is planting season. We probably won't know until the summer or even early fall. Having said all of that, the answer is yes. We are setting up the infrastructure that if in fact we have some economic consequences in the short term to our farmers and perhaps our ranchers, that we will have programs in place.
Those protections come at a time when tractor prices have gone up 50% over the last 5 years, and fertilizer has doubled in cost as well.
When the next severe weather event happens, don't get caught in the dark. Power your kitchen, HVAC, and communication systems with a Jackery solar-capable generator. Just click on our YouTube affiliate shopping tab, and you're on your way. And Husker fans, the Explorer Series is perfect for tailgating.
In other news, an Oklahoma man is in custody after a priest was shot and killed just south of the state line in Kansas. The Nemaha County Sheriff's Office of Kansas said in a post on Facebook Friday morning that Gary Hermash of Tulsa is being held in their jail on suspicion of first-degree murder. Authorities called to the Saints Peter and Paul Catholic Church in Seneca, about 25 miles south of Pawnee City, Nebraska, found Errol Carasella suffering from gunshot wounds outside the rectory. The 57-year-old priest was taken by ambulance to a hospital where he died. Authorities have not yet released a possible motive for the shooting, nor have they said whether the suspect and the priest knew each other. A woman is in the hospital and a man facing a citation after an accident outside a central Nebraska grocery store. This was the scene Thursday afternoon just outside the entrance to Russ's Market in Hastings. Authorities tell us the woman was hit by a truck turning into the store's parking lot. An NCN reporter at the scene observed the woman on the ground for over 10 minutes before she was loaded onto a stretcher and taken to a hospital. The extent of her injuries is unknown. Authorities have yet to update us on the victim's condition. Well, for the first time under Nebraska's new safe haven law, a baby has been dropped off at an approved location. The Department of Health and Human Services said the baby was surrendered to a safe haven location in northeast Nebraska on Wednesday. They didn't specify which city. DHHS says the baby is currently under their care. Nebraska's new safe haven law went into effect last July. It allows babies up to 90 days old to be dropped off at a hospital, a fire station, or a law enforcement agency. The individuals that drop off the baby are prevented from being prosecuted. Well, across the country, live music striking a chord like never before. Entertainment giant Live Nation reporting record-breaking concert attendance for several years in a row, and now a small town in Nebraska looking to bring that same energy to its community. Casey Wannenberg takes us to Valentine, where a summer concert series is making a comeback.
I'm going to play our current radio single for you right now. This one's called Sway.
Will Carter won Country Single of the Year at the Texas Country Music Awards. And Teague Brothers Band is getting its rhythm by rising to number 2 on multiple Texas charts. Something they both have in common? They'll be performing in Valentine, Nebraska this summer.
Got some good bands coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Ken Fisbeck owns Humdinger Boots in Valentine.
That's an exotic. That's an ostrich boot.
He's teaming up with another area business owner, T.C. Colvin, a bunkhouse restaurant and saloon, to host a summer concert series, something Valentine hasn't seen in years.
This is something that we just wanted to try to bring back, and we're going to give it a shot.
The series will feature 4 different bands, one each month from June through September. That includes Hayden Haddock, who recently landed his first #1 song, along with the 70s band.
There's so many times that people in Valentine are like, hey, there's nothing to do anymore, so we're going to give it a shot and give people the opportunity to come out and listen to some great music and have a good time.
3 of the concerts will be located here in the parking lot outside of the bunkhouse, with the other one just outside of Humdinger's.
We're bringing people in. Anytime people can come to town from out and spend money, whether it be at the restaurants, the retail stores, the gas stations, that all brings in money.
The concert series isn't just music to the ears of locals. It could also be an encore attraction for the thousands of tourists who float the nearby Niobrara River each summer.
They're on the river all day. They can come to town, listen to some good music, maybe go out to eat.
But beyond the economic boost, organizers say the biggest goal is striking a chord with the community.
You get together with friends, you get together with family, and it gives people memories.
Memories made as award-winning artists take main stage in this small town. In Valentine, Casey Wannenberg, News Channel, Nebraska.
And postseason basketball's in full swing at the collegiate level, but also at an often overlooked junior level. Nebraska's lone junior wheelchair basketball team begins its postseason run this weekend at Nationals in Virginia. Ryan Valenta catches up with one of the team's athletes making his final appearance on the hardwood.
The National Wheelchair Basketball Association gives disabled youth and adult athletes the unique opportunity to hit the hardwood and play the game they love. Hastings High School senior Jack Ortegren is one of the leaders on the Nebraska Red Dogs, who are off to the Junior National Championships in Richmond, Virginia this weekend.
My job is to get between these two and move them apart.
The Omaha-based team is the only junior division team in Nebraska. Ortegren and the Red Dogs will go for gold in his last of 14 years playing with the team.
The biggest thing is we have a lot of chemistry. We've been playing with each other for 5 or 6 years now, I think. We call us the Big Three. It's really the Big Four now with Aiden being back. It's me, Caden, Aiden, and Quinn is kind of our Big Four, and then we have Jacoby's the 5 spot. He's the other senior on the team. Me and him are the only 2 senior. He's pretty good as well. He's just really fast.
The Red Dogs have played in tournaments all across the Midwest this year and are the #1 seed in the NWBA Invitational Tournament, similar to the NIT in college basketball.
Coach said right away at practice the other day on Saturday, he said, it's not you, it's not me, it's going to have to be us. We're going to have to play as a team, we're going to have to get these wins because we do have that target on our back and we kind of know we're going to get everybody's best shot.
For Ortegren as a high school senior, his playing career will come to an end this weekend, but just 4 wins separate the Red Dogs from their first championship title since 2019.
And at practice, I asked the coaches, I said, are you guys bringing your dress clothes for the Sunday game? And they both were like, yeah, I think we're going to be there. So it was exciting to see that. But yeah, being the last game, that's kind of in the rear view. I had the last practice on Saturday, and it was emotional leaving UNO for the last time. But again, it's life. You're going to have endings, and this is a good way to go out.
Their first game on Friday is at 11 a.m. and will be live streamed on the Nebraska Red Dogs YouTube page. In Hastings, Ryan Valenta, News Channel Nebraska.
And you can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com and click on the News tab there. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. This is News Channel Nebraska.